Okay, topic is linear and non-linear system. Linear and non-linear system. First, we'll see some of the basics regarding the linearity or non-linearity of the system. Okay, if the system is linear, it has to obey the superposition principle. Okay, system obeys the principle of superposition. Obeys the principle of superposition. Okay, the system obeys the principle of superposition. Okay, is said to be linear system. Okay, is said to be linear system. Okay, the system is said to be linear if and only if it satisfies the superposition principle. Then what do you mean by that superposition principle? That is, the weighted sum of input when given to the system should give the weighted sum of output. Okay, so the weighted sum of input when given to the system should give a sum of weighted sum of output. Okay, so or another way it is like it satisfies the principle of linear combination. So the another name for superposition is the principle of linear combination. Principle of linear combination. Okay, what do you mean that what do you mean by this principle of linear combination? Okay, linear combination. Say for example, if you are having a equation 1, okay, now I am just going to explain the principle of linear combination first. What do you mean by linear combination? Okay, already I think you might have studied this in the matrix. Okay, when you have two rows of matrix, you can make another row with the help of existing two rows by applying some mathematics, either just addition or with introducing some constant in the multiplication and then addition. So like this you can introduce linear combination. Say for example, if you are having a equation 1, okay, already, and another equation 2, okay, then I can make the equation 3. Okay, equation 3 with help of linear combination of existing two equation. That is, I can multiply with one constant, okay, then equation 1, and then I can multiply with another constant, okay, then equation 2. Okay, like this I can make the third equation. Okay, now the third equation is the linear combination of this first two equation. Now the k1 comma k2 could be anything. K1 k2 could be anything. It may be positive, or it may be 0, or it may be negative. Okay, so you can put any value for k1 and k2. So finally you can get the equation 3. So once if this is the case, say for example, if you are having equation 1, you can write in terms of rows of the matrix, and then equation 2 also you can write in terms of rows of matrix. Then the next equation you have formed with the help of the linear combination. Then once if you write that row, then if you take modulus, okay, determinant, if you take the determinant for this matrix, definitely this will be 0. Definitely this will be 0. Okay, so that is a very simple idea. So once again, if it is not 0, then all the three rows are independent rows, independent equation. Or otherwise, if any one of the equation depends on the other equation, then they are dependent. Okay, one equation depending on the other. Okay, so that's why the determinant, okay, mod value of the matrix will be 0. This is one simple way to identify whether the given equations are dependent or independent. Okay, sometime with the help of only one equation, okay, only one independent equation, you can make linear combination of the first equation. Similarly, you can make linear combination of the first equation with some other factor. Okay, so now these two are dependent, this is independent. Okay, this is independent, but these two are dependent. In this case also, if you take modulus, again you will get 0. Okay, so these are also some simple way to identify the linear combination. Okay, so if you take the modulus, if modulus is not equal to 0, then there is no linear combination, all are independent. Okay, what is the simple idea? If mod of the matrix is not equal to 0, all are independent, all are independent. All are independent means within those rows of the vectors, rows of the matrix, there is no linear combination, all are really independent, there is no dependency between the equation, all are independent. Okay, so this is some simple idea, okay, of the linear combination. Okay, because the linearity of the system, superposition is also something similar to linear combination. So the weighted sum of input when given to the system should give the weighted sum of the output, or it is something similar to the principle of linear combination. Okay, then what is the statement? A system is said to be linear. A system is said to be linear if it satisfies both additivity and homogeneity principle. Additivity and homogeneity. The another name for homogeneity is scaling. Okay, the another name for homogeneity is scaling. So it satisfies both additivity and homogeneity principle. Okay, that you can easily visualize from here. Say the k1 denotes the scaling. Okay, k1 could be any number. Okay, that means you are scaling this equation. This plus denotes the additivity. Okay, this plus denotes the additivity. So some system, it may the additivity property, but it may not satisfy the scaling property. So but for the system to be linear, it has to satisfy both additivity as well as the homogeneity, that means scaling principle. Okay, if the system is not satisfying any one of the property, then that system is definitely non-linear. If it is not satisfying both, then also it is not non-linear. Okay, so if the system is to be linear, then definitely it has to satisfy both additivity as well as the homogeneity principle. Okay, homogeneous principle. Okay, first we'll see the what is the additivity concept. Okay, we'll see it separately, then we'll combine together. Okay, first we'll see the what is the concept of additivity. Okay, so say for example, again before giving the statement, okay, first I'll write the mathematical term, then later I will give you the statement. Okay, then it will be easy to understand. So for example, if you are having some system, you know that it will transforms the input into output. So this T means it is like a system. Okay, you are applying some transformation. So for example, if you are having x1 of t, okay, then the system will give y1 of t. The same system I am using, whatever the system I am using here, the same system I am using here, but my input is different, x2 of t, then the output is y1 of t. Okay, so because I have modified the input, okay, I am getting some new output, corresponding output I am getting, okay, y2 of t. Okay, when I give x1 of t, I am getting output y1 of t. When the input is x2 of t, the output is y2 of t, but the system is same. Okay, the system is same. Okay, so suppose if I add these two input, okay, see in this case I am giving separately. In the third case, what I am going to do, I am going to add the both input x1 and x2 of t. Okay, then at a time I am giving to the same system. Okay, then what is the output of the system? Okay, so if the output of the system, okay, see definitely when I add x1 of t, x2 of t, that is like a new input. That new input I may call it like x3 of t. Okay, where x3 of t is what? Just the addition of x1 of t and x2 of t. When I give x3 of t to the system, definitely it will produce y3 of t. But if this y3 of t is same as y1 of t and y2 of t, then that means this system is satisfying the additivity property. That means this system is satisfying the additivity property. Okay, if it is not, okay, if it is not satisfying, then the system is maybe non-linear. Okay, the system cannot be linear. And again to ensure that system to be linear, we have to satisfy the homogeneity principle also. Okay, but only we are dealing with separately. Okay, so this is the concept of additivity. Suppose if the system is discrete, okay, then when you give x1 of n, okay, it will give y1 of n. When you give x2 of n, and then you will get y2 of n. Okay, if you give combinedly x1 of n and x2 of n, then your output has to be y1 of n and y2 of n. Okay, so this is the concept of additivity. Okay, so now just I'll give you the statements. Okay, it states that if an input x1 of t produces output y1 of t, and the another input x2 of t produces output y2 of t. Okay, then when both input acting on the system simultaneously, then what should be the output of the system? Simultaneously the output, okay, the system should produce output same as y1 of t plus y2 of t. Okay, if the system satisfies this condition, then that means the system is following the additivity property. Okay, then what about the homogeneity principle? Homogeneity, or the another name is scaling. Okay, so here also first I'll explain the mathematics. Okay, so suppose if the system, okay, when the system is there, when I give x of t, it is giving you y of t. Again I am scaling the system. Okay, a could be anything, a could be 0 or negative, or it could be positive, or it may be greater than 1, or it may be less than 1, it could be anything. Okay, a could be, it's like a constant. Okay, so when I am scaling the input, okay, the same system should produce output with the same scaling. Okay, with the same scaling. So that means what? This system is following the homogeneity principle. Suppose if it is a discrete system, then ax of n should produce ay of n. Okay, so this is all about the homogeneity. So that means what? It states that if the input is scaled by a, then the output also has to be scaled by the same amount of a. Okay, so what is the statement? It states that if input is scaled by a, then output is also scaled by same amount of a. Okay, then the system is following the homogeneity principle. So if we combine both, okay, combining both additivity and homogeneity, combining both additivity and homogeneity, so combining both additivity and homogeneity, we can write like this: a x1 of t plus b x2 of t. That means a b is constant. Okay, then what should be the output? Output should be a y1 of t, then b y2 of t. If it is a discrete system, then a x1 of n plus b x2 of n is equal to a y1 of n plus b y2 of n. Okay, so that means what? Finally you have to analyze with this equation. When the system is given, okay, you have to see whether the system is satisfying these properties or not. Okay, so if it satisfies, then that system is linear, because these equations consist of both additivity and homogeneity. Okay, if the system satisfies both additivity and homogeneity, that means it is satisfying the superposition principle, so the system is linear system. Okay, now we will take simple example. Okay, question check whether check whether following system is linear or non-linear. Okay, so first we'll go by method. Okay, we'll solve the question by this procedure. Later we'll get some understanding. Later we can say easily by looking into the question directly, we can say whether the given system is linear or not, because that will be useful in the examination. Because before solving the question, you should know whether the system is linear or not. Okay, definitely you have to proceed with the steps, then later you have to prove that the system is either linear or non-linear. Okay, so now the question is y of t is equal to t into x of t. Okay, y of t is equal to t into x of t. Then we have to verify whether the given system is linear or not. Okay, if the question is like this, y of t is equal to x of t, then this is the simple question. Directly we can say the system is linear. Okay, because the system is having only one component. It's like, you can imagine like this, it's like y equal to mx plus c, something like that you can imagine. Then the c is 0, then definitely the system is like a linear system. Then but here they are giving some extra parameter, that is t. Now we will see whether that extra t will affect the linearity of the system or not. Just we will analyze. Okay, we will go one by one. Okay, say for example, for the system, if you are giving x1 of t, okay, x1 of t, then what is the output that you are getting when you give x1 of t as the input? Again, please remember, y of t is the output of the system. Okay, where x of t is the input of the system. T is the parameter that we got during the transformation process. Okay, during the transformation process, how you have to visualize this? Okay, so this is the system. Okay, for this you are giving input as x of t, then you are getting output y of t, but that output y of t they defined in terms of equation, that is t into x of t. Okay, so when you give input as x1 of t, what will be your output? Because x of t is input, that could be anything. It could be step signal, ramp signal, or it could be constant. Okay, it could be anything. So where x, so suppose if you are giving x1 of t as the input, then what will be the output? Output will be y1 of t, but that too y1 of t means t x1 of t, because y of t depends on t into x of t. You are giving x1 of t, then that means y1 of t is equal to t into x1 of t. It's very simple. So wherever x of t is there, replace with x1 of t. Okay, you are giving x1 of t, then definitely output will be y1 of t. Again, if you give input as x2 of t, what will be the output? The output will be y2 of t. Okay, and then t into x2 of t. Okay, t into x2 of t. So now I am going to give the new input. Okay, I am going to give the new input x3 of t. Okay, but my output is y3 of t. But what is this new input? The new input that I am giving is the linear combination of the existing input. What is the linear combination of the existing input? That is a x1 of t, okay, and then b x2 of t. Okay, this is my new input. That new input is the linear combination of the existing input. Then what should be my output? The output also should be the linear combination of the existing output. So that is, my output also should be same as a y1 of t plus b y2 of t. So if I am satisfying this condition, then the system is linear. Okay, the system is linear. Now we will see whether we are able to satisfy this or not. Okay, so now what I am going to give, I am going to apply the new input x3 of t, but x3 of t is not the random input. The new input is the linear combination of the existing input, that is a x1 of t plus b x2 of t. Okay, because why I am taking like this? Because finally I have to prove this. Okay, I have to prove this. Okay, so I am taking this input, third input, that is a linear combination of the existing input. Okay, so now when you give x3 of t, your answer will be y3 of t. Okay, but what is y3 of t? Y3 of t is equal to t into x3 of t. Okay, then what is x3 of t? Okay, then you substitute here a x1 t plus b x2 t. Okay, then you multiply this. Okay, you'll get at x1 of t plus bt x2 of t. Okay, then you just try to represent this in terms of existing output. Okay, what is existing output? This is y1 of t, t x1 of t you can write in terms of y1 of t. Okay, t x1 of t you can write in terms of y1 of t. Similarly, t x2 of t you can write in terms of y2 of t. So that means what? Finally I am satisfying this. Finally the y3 of t is same as the linear combination of the existing output. So I am satisfying this. Okay, finally y3 of t is same as a y1 of t plus b y2 of t, and also here also I am getting the same. So the system, the given system is linear. Okay, the given system is linear. Okay, so now we got some understanding here. The introduction of the time parameter will not affect the linearity of the system. Okay, the linearity is really depends on the amplitude. Okay, that we will visualize later. Okay, see what about the next question. The second question, y of t is equal to x square of t. What about the nature of the system? Can anybody say? Is it linear or non-linear? From your experience, you can think it of like this: y is equal to x square. Just relax the time. Is it linear or non-linear? Anybody? What is the
Non-linear, sir.
non-linear? Okay, so it is non-linear. Okay, the same thing also we'll get here. Okay, we'll try to prove that the system is non-linear. Okay, first x1 of t, when you are giving x1 of t as the input, the output is y1 of t, that is what? X1 of t square. So it's very simple. Wherever x of t is there, replace with x1 of t. So you are giving input x1 of t, then output is y1 of t. So y1 of t is equal to x1 square t. That means x1 of t whole square. Then if the input is x2 of t, what is the output? y2 of t is equal to, okay, x square, x2 of t whole square. Then my new input is x3 of t, but that is the linear combination of the existing input. So a x1 of t plus b x2 of t. Okay, then what is my output? That is y3 of t is equal to x3 square t. Now you are having x3 of t. You just substitute here a x1 of t plus b x2 of t whole square. Okay, it's like a plus b whole square. Then you expand this equation. Okay, so a square x1 square t plus b square x2 square t plus 2ab x1 t and x2 t. Okay, now a square x1 square t you can replace with y1 t. X square t x2 square you can replace with y2 t. But here you cannot do anything. Here you cannot do any replacement here. Okay, but if this system has to be linear, okay, actually we need y3 of t, because whatever the things that we are calculating is y3 of t, y3 of t. Okay, the y3 of t has to be equal to y1 of t, a y1 of t plus b y2 of t. But we are not able to get that condition here, because even instead of a square is there, and again here instead of b square is there, and also extra term is there. That means what? Y3 of t is not same as the a y1 of t plus b y2 of t. So the system is non-linear. Okay, if you are not able to satisfy that equation, then the system is non-linear. Okay, next question. Y of t is equal to x of t square. Okay, we are not applying the square operation to the signal, we are applying square operation to only time. See, in this case we applied square operation for amplitude, whereas in this case we are applying square operation for signal, not for amplitude. Okay, now in this case what happens, we'll see. Solution: x1 of t means y1 of t, which is equal to x1 t square. X2 of t means y2 of t x2 t square. Then y3 of t is equal to x3 t square. Okay, but what is x3? What is x3t? x3t means linear combination of the input, that is a x1t plus b x2t. Okay, then x3 t square. Okay, so then what you will get, a x1 t square b x2 t square. Okay, a x1 t square you can replace with a y1 of t. This you can replace with y2 of t. Okay, so that means finally you are satisfying that linearity equation, so the system is linear. So even though the square operation is there, that square operation is present only for time, not for amplitude. Okay, so the any operation on the time will not affect the linearity of the system, but if you do any operation on the amplitude, that may affect the linearity of the system, because here we have applied the square operation for amplitude, that is affecting the linearity of the system, that becomes non-linear. But the same square operation is applied for time, so that is not affecting the linearity of the system. So what is the conclusion here? If there is some operation on time, it may be square or square root or cube, that will not affect the linearity of the system. Okay, the linearity of the system will be affected only when if you apply any operation on the amplitude of the signal. Okay, on the amplitude of the signal. So this signal is a linear signal, linear system. This system is linear system. Okay, what about the next one? In terms of equation, y of t is equal to 2 into x of t plus 4. 2 into x of t plus 4. Okay, so now what is the linearity of the system? Is it linear or non-linear? Anybody? I think you can say it.
Non-linear.
Non-linear. It's something similar to y is equal to mx plus c, but the presence of c, non-zero value of the c, will make the system non-linear. Okay, the system is non-linear. Okay, we will solve. Okay, so when you give input as x1 of t, the output is y1 of t is equal to 2x1 of t plus 4. When the input is x2 of t, what is the output? y2 of t, that is 2 x2 of t plus 4. What is the new input? x3 of t, but that is the linear combination of the existing input, a x1 of t plus b x2 of t. When you apply x3 of t, what will be the output? y3 of t. But what is y3 of t? y3 of t is 2 x3 of t plus 4. Already you are having x3 of t, just you substitute here, 2 into a x1 of t plus b x2 of t plus 4. Okay, then you expand 2a x1 of t plus 2b x2 of t plus 4. Okay, so how can we represent this in terms of y1 of t or y2 of t? Okay, so uh, what is there here? See, if it is 2x1 of t plus 4, that you can replace with y1 of t. So again, already a is there. Okay, so even if you bring that 4 here, 2b x2 of t. Okay, again here you cannot represent in terms of y1 of t. Again, even if we take a outside, okay, if you take a outside also, you cannot represent with the help of a y1 of t plus b y2 of t. Okay, so definitely y3 of t is not equal to this one, so this is not a linear system. Okay, if you are having some trouble here, okay, you stop with this, then you form this equation. Okay, see, you try to form this equation. Okay, what is y3 of t? y3 of t has to be a y1 of t plus b y2 of t. Okay, already we are having, this is also y3 of t, but if it is linear, the y3 of t has to be in this format. Okay, then what about y1 of t? Okay, so uh, 2 sorry a into what is y1 of t? 2x1 of t plus 4 What about the y2 of t? That is 2x2t plus 4. If you expand, okay, you will be getting 2a x1 of t plus 4a plus 2b x2 of t plus 4b. Okay, y3 of t, y3 of t, but both are not same. Okay, so as these two are not same, then definitely this system is non-linear. Okay, or otherwise directly here itself you can write this is not equal to a y1 of t plus b y2 of t. Just by observing the uh, pattern you can easily say, or otherwise even if you are having doubt you can also do like this. Okay, finally y3 of t is not equal to y3 of t, that means the system is non-linear. Okay, so this system is non-linear system. Next question. No. y of n is equal to log x of n. Can anybody tell me what is the nature of this system, linear or non-linear? What is the operation of log? Log operation is linear one or non-linear one? Y is equal to log x. Is it linear or non-linear? What is the nature of log? Anybody? No idea. It's it's very simple. You take different value of x, then you calculate y. You apply different value of x. Let x could be 1, x could be 10, or x could be 100, something like that. You take x could be 1000. You calculate what is the value of y. You try to plot it on the linear graph. Okay, you take this value, you try to plot it on the linear graph. Then what is the shape that you are getting? What is the shape that you are getting? Okay, say for example, again can draw it here. Say for example, if 0 1 2 up to 100 is there, okay, then when you put, again for 0 log 0 is not defined, but when you take log 1, that is 0, log 10 means 1. Okay, when you get log 100, that is 10. But if you try to plot, okay, this will be like a graph like this. It will go like this. Okay, so this will follow this pattern. Okay, so that means this is not a linear one. So log nature is always non-linear. Log nature is non-linear. So again this system is also a non-linear system. Okay, so anyway, we will try to prove that. Okay, so x1 of n means y1 of n is equal to log of x1 of n. What is y2 of n? When you give x2 of n as the input, the output is y2 of n, that is log x2 of n. Then when you apply the new input x3 of n, that is a x1 of n plus b x2 of n, that means what? Y3 of n is equal to log of, instead of x3 x of n you write x3 of n, but what is the value of x3 of n? This one. So a x1 of n plus b x2 of n. Again no way you can represent this with help of this, so that means this is not equal to a y1 of n plus b y2 of n. Okay, so that's why this system is non-linear. This system is non-linear. Okay, so next question. Y of n is equal to root xn. Is it linear or non-linear? Anybody?
Non-linear, sir.
Non-linear, because square and square root, they are opposite to each other. Definitely this is also non-linear, because if it is like this you can write like this, x is equal to y square. X and y is just variable, so definitely this system is also a non-linear system. This is the solution. X1 of n is input, then y1 of n is equal to square root of x1 of n. If x2 of n is the input, output y2 of n is equal to square root of x2 of n. Okay, then what is the new input? New input x3 of n is equal to a x1 of n plus b x2 of n, that is y3 of n is equal to square root of x3 of n. Okay, that means a x1 of n plus b x2 of n overall square root, that no way you can write with help of like this, a y1 of n plus b y2 of n. Okay, so this is not equal, so this system is non-linear. Okay, next system, y of n is equal to x of n and x of minus 1. Okay, this system is some new variety of system. So it's not exactly square, but it is square but with the delayed operation. Okay, it's like y is equal to x square only, but it is not directly x square. Okay, x square means one value you are directly multiplying with the same value, but it is like delayed square. Okay, that means what, you are having one sample, but the delayed sample you are making square. Okay, see what is the concept of this one. Say for example, if you are having samples like this, when it is absolute square, okay, directly you are making square, but when it is delayed square, you are squaring with the previous sample, you are squaring with the previous sample, you are squaring with the previous sample, like this. Okay, then you are putting values like this. Okay, so this is like the concept of square with the delay operation. Okay, here also square operation only, but with some delay. Okay, with the delayed signal. Okay, this is square operation with delay. Okay, with delay. So this system may look like a linear but not linear, because actually it is doing the square operation. Whenever square operation is there, that is non-linear. So it may look like a linear, but actually it is doing the square operation, so it is a non-linear system. Okay, we'll try to prove that. When the input is x1 of n, the output y1 of n is equal to x1 of n x1 of n minus 1. When the input is x2 of n, the output y2 of n is equal to x2 of n x2 of n minus 1. What is the new input? x3 of n is equal to a x1 of n plus b x2 of n. Okay, when x3 of n is the input, what is the output? y3 of n. So y3 of n is equal to x3 of n x3 of n minus 1. Okay, what is x3 of n? Okay, x3 of n means a x1 of n. See, x3 of n I am having here. Okay, so a x1 of n plus b x2 of n. Okay, so once if I know x3 of n, I can write x3 of n minus 1. So I already having x3 of n, then I can write x3 of n minus 1 simply by applying minus 1 here. So a x1 of n minus 1 plus b x2 of n minus 1. Okay, so with this, no way you can form this equality. Okay, with this you cannot prove this. Okay, so again, if you compare a y1 of n and then b y2 of n is not equal to the above terms, so that's why these two are not same, so this is non-linear. Okay, if you are having doubt, you just form this equation. Already you know what is y1 of n. The y1 of n is function of x1 of n. You will get another equation, and again you can prove that the two equation is not equal, so that system is non-linear. Anyway, even if you do that, then this will be a non-linear system. Okay, next question. This is the last question. Y of n is equal to 1 by 3 x of n minus 1 x of n plus x of n plus 1. Okay, if you observe here, there are 3 samples, again by 3. That means it's something like average. Okay, it's something like average. And again, this system is called moving average system. Moving average system. Why it is moving average system? Because n could be anything. Okay, based on the n, your position will be defined. Say for example, this is the signal. It is having some random samples. Okay, it is having some random samples. Say this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. This is the signal x of n. Okay, for example, I'm telling, so when this is the signal, what is the output? The output at any point of time is the average of the nearby samples. So when I stand here, suppose when I stand here, I have to take average of this one. Say for example, if it is 2, 1, 2, this is also 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, again 2, 2. So when I stand here, okay, what is the sample here? What is the sample here? What is the sample here? That is the meaning. So when I stand here, I am here. What is the previous sample? What is the future sample? So I make average. Okay, so 2 plus 2, 4, 4 by 3. Okay, so now what is the value here? The value here is 4 by 3. When I stand here, take the average of this 5 by 3. When I stand here, average of this 5 by 3. When I stand here, average of this 5 by 3. So it's like moving average system. Okay, so this is the example for moving average system. Okay, so at any point of time, the sample average value depends on the present value as well as the next value, that means future value, as well as the past value, that means the last value. Okay, so this is the example of the moving average system. Whether the moving average system is a linear system or non-linear system. So now before going to this, again we have to see here, like this is one signal, another signal, they are like addition. So whenever we are adding two signals, okay, whether that will be a linear one or non-linear one. Yes, anybody? So definitely this is like a linear combination. Okay, linear combination of the own signal, but with delay. Okay, or without delay. Definitely this system is a linear system. Okay, because if you see on the amplitude of the signal, there is no operation on the amplitude of the signal. See, there is no operation on x, but the operation, that this addition operation will not make the system non-linear. The operation is there between these two signal, but that operation is the addition operation. The addition operation will not make the system non-linear. Okay, the addition operation is definitely, it will affect the amplitude, but the addition operation will not affect the linearity of the system. So definitely this system is a linear system. Okay, the moving average system is a linear system. Okay, what is the solution? So when you apply x1 of n, the output is y1 of n, that is 1 by 3, x1 of n minus 1, x1 of n, x1 of n plus 1. If it is x2 of n, output is y2 of n is equal to 1 by 3, x2 of n minus 1, x2 of n, x2 of n plus 1. Then what is the new input? New input is x3 of n, but that is the linear combination of the existing input, that is a x1 of n plus b x2 of n. x3 of n will produce the output y3 of n, that is 1 by 3. Okay, so now again here x3 of n minus 1 plus x3 of n plus x3 of n plus 1. Okay, so now what I have to do, 1 by 3, because when you apply x3 of n as per the system will produce y3 of n, and again wherever x is there I will replace with x3. Okay, so now then how to expand this? Okay, then okay, how to proceed from this? Any idea? x3 of n minus 1, x3 of n plus x3 of n plus 1. Okay, so then now x3 of here, but this is x3 of n minus 1. Now it is little bit tricky. Please see very carefully. Okay, so now y3 of n I have returned based on the equation, this equation. Okay, okay, wherever y is there, just I am putting 3. Okay, similarly for x also I am putting subscript 3. Okay, now it's okay. But now I am having one new equation here, because this equation is based on the linearity concept. Okay, principle of additivity and homogeneity. But now this x3 of n minus 1 I will try to write from this, because I know what is x3 of n, but I have to find out what is x3 of n minus 1. So if you try to write this from this, it will come like this: 1 by 3 a, okay, wherever n is there, replace with n minus 1 because x3 in n is there already, but I need x3 of n minus 1. Then a x1 of n minus 1 plus b x2 of n minus 1. Now this part is over. Okay, now this part is over. So this is one component. Then x3 of n is very simple. Directly I can write this term here. So that is simply a x1 of n plus b x2 of n. Okay, then what about the next component? Next component is plus a x1, instead of n I have to write n plus 1 plus b x2 n plus 1. This is the last component. Okay, again this 1 by 3 is common for all. Okay, so then you just make some adjustment, okay, between these. Okay, now I'll make the adjustment like this. Okay, 1 by 3, just wherever a is there I will take that component. A is present here, a is present here, a is present here. Okay, wherever a is there I'll adjust that component. So x of n minus 1 plus x1 of n plus x1 of n plus 1. Okay, now this is one component. And then wherever b is there I'll adjust that. That is x2 of n minus 1, x2 of n, x2 of n plus 1. And again this is the overall bracket. Okay, and again very easily you can verify this. This is something similar to a y1 of n plus b y2 of n, because already we are having y1 of n and y2 of n. Okay, this is y1 of n, this is y2 of n, so I can easily write like this. So finally y3 of n is equal to a y1 of n plus b y2 of n. So that means what? This is satisfying the linearity concept. So this system is linear system. Okay, we will stop with this.